Hello and welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. I hope all of you are doing well, and it's my privilege, it's my honor to welcome you all in this episode. Thank you for joining with me, and Nazia, welcome to Global Success Stories, and those who are just joining with me from different part of the world. Let me welcome you all in this episode. Welcome Saiful Islam. Welcome Jahid H. Shamal, Sketarik Nawaz. And let me tell you, today I have a special guest and who's joining me from US, and it's my privilege and pleasure to introduce Mr. Sheikh Rahman, who is a Bangladeshi-born US citizen and a seasoned trainer, speaker, and coach in John Maxwell uh, Academy, and he's also executive director of John C. Maxwell in the team. So, and he's been in US quite some time, and he's doing this uh, wonderful work for helping the entrepreneurs and helping the organizations and individual as well for finding their purposes, passion, and to have. I mean, he's actually helping them to become the real person that everybody wants to be. So actually, I'm in a process to include Mr. Sheikh Rahman in the conversation. Just in the meantime, please do join and stay with me, and please give me some feedback as well if you're listening me properly. If you can if you can if you're viewing me, the sound, the voice and everything, if it is clear, just give the thumbs up. And I would also welcome you if you also share this along with your audience as well. So I'm just waiting to bring my guest online with me. Hello, Rajan. Thank you. Welcome to this episode today. Mahbubur Rahman, thank you for joining with me. Thank you for giving me support and encouragement from the behind, and those who are just joining with me from uh, different part of the world. Hello, Tanvir Bhai, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Where are you in Bangladesh or not? I don't know, but I hope you are doing well. So let me bring my guest. Welcome everyone to this Global Success Stories. Today I have a guest who is working in US as a trainer, speaker, and coach in John Maxwell team, and who is also serving in John Maxwell team as an executive director, and who is in this profession quite some time. And it's my pleasure actually to invite and to bring Mr. Rahman in this episode, who is a fellow Bangladeshi US citizen. So I'm in a process to add him on this.
Okay.
So he's just joining with me right now. So thank you. Greg.
All right.
Greg Walker. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a little bit struggling. Are you there, Kamrul?
Yeah. Can you see me?
Yes.
I can see you perfectly. Okay.
Okay, great.
So your sound a little bit. Okay. I think it would be okay.
Okay. See if the headset works better.
Yeah, I think right now is better. And also, I'm expecting some feedback from the audience as well. Those who are watching right now, if you can give us feedback, like if the sound is okay, the videos are okay or not, and it would be helpful to both of us to start this. Rajan, thank you. You're most welcome. So both sounds are clear. Thank you, Mahupai, and thank you for giving the feedback. Thank you, Rajan, for giving the feedback as well. So let me introduce with you, with all of us, my guest today, Mr. Sheikh Rahman from USA, and who was born in Bangladesh as well, but he migrated to US quite some time, I think in early 90s, and he is doing what I am doing recently as a trainer, speaker, and coach. And he's already a seasoned trainer, speaker, and coach, and doing this quite some time. He's not only John C. Maxwell certified, but also he is an executive director of John Maxwell team, which is contributing across the planet. I think more than 150 countries. John Maxwell is contributing across the planet, I should say. And I'm sure that almost in every country there is John Maxwell team member, and I'm really quite fortunate and quite honored to get to know Mr. Rahman from US, who happened to be a Bangladeshi as well. So to found himself in John Maxwell team and as an executive director as well. So welcome, Mr. Sheikh Rahman, in the Global Success Stories. It's my privilege to welcome you into this program. So,
Thank you. Thank you, Kamrul. It is my privilege and honor, and you introduced me very well. Hopefully, I deserve all those things. But yes, I was born in Bangladesh, and I came to the US in 1992, actually, as a youth, and aspiration to, of course, have all the successes and everything. I started my engineering journey in Bangladesh. I was the student of the Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology. But then, for whatever reason, I think I was involved in so many things. Before the class even got started, there was something called session jam, which means I had to wait 2 years for the classes to get started, which is unheard of in this part of the world. But anyway, at that time, I decided to come and join some of my friends here to get my higher education done and then go back. But that never happened, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, even though I had one attempt. But anyway, yes, I am a certified coach, speaker, and trainer by Dr. John C. Maxwell, who is the #1 leadership trainer, so to speak, in the world, by Inc. magazine and many other companies that are rated in the leadership arena. And he speaks for Fortune 500 companies, and now he's beyond and above that. So he actually works with the government. Last year, I was in the training session for the country of Paraguay in South America. This year, the John Maxwell team coaches went to Costa Rica. Next year, it's still sort of a rumor, but we're probably going to Kenya to train the governments, to train the trainers so they can train their leaders. So that's the whole goal is. And part of that is giving me, of course, the things that I wanted to do, and I'm involved in various things in that similar industry.
Wonderful. So I'd be really, happy to understand your journey of, self-development in the industry. You happen to be, as you said, an engineer, and the engineer by education in your early university life. After that, you have chosen for the self-development journey. And as a trainer, speaker, and coach, definitely you have a mission, you have a purpose, for that reason that you are contributing significantly, helping others, to find out the real insight that everyone wants to be. That a lot of us, we struggle from within, then we study some areas, and then we choose some other profession. And a lot of time we have a dream, but we never ever chase our dream. We never have courage sometime, and we are kind of taken back. A lot of chains that also holding us back. So how you have started your journey of self-development, would you please share with us from the very beginning that your journey begins?
Well, self-development has been my passion forever, which the funny part is I did not know about it until recently, that what I was going through or what I was doing at that time. And I if I look back 20 years, 30 years ago, I saw that my fulfillment was, I was getting my fulfillment through helping others and helping others achieve something, in helping them in their achievement. And I did not know that is a part of leadership, and that part grew in me. And a few things that I look back, few of these trainings, even though today, yes, I am following Dr. John C. Maxwell, Tony Robbins, Bernard Burchard, or any Brian Tracy, or anybody that, or Robin Sharma, or whoever you talk about, definitely I'm a student of everybody. And of course, all my peers as well. One of the missions that I have in all my meetings or all my association is that I would like to learn the most. I want to make sure in that environment I am the most benefited as far as knowledge goes or as far as personal development goes. For example, in this interview also, I have my pen and paper ready because I want to make sure that I take notes, and the things that I learn I can apply and I can teach whatever is necessary. So for me, the personal development, I thought that was always there. However, I don't know how open-minded I was. I mean, I was probably somewhat open-minded. Otherwise, it's hard to reach some of the things what I wanted to reach. And the other things is helping others. One of the things in my website, you'll see that I talk about candle leadership. So what that means is when you have a candle anywhere in a dark place or something, you have some lumens, you have some light, lighting that place. It's when it's lit. And then when you have other candles, you get the light from my candle and put that in the same area, you get more lights. But the good part is I did not lose my light at all. My candle is still lit. It is giving the same light, same lumen everywhere. Rather, in my area, I have more lights now because of the light the other candles got. So leadership is the same. That's what my belief, and that's what I learned, and that's why I called it candle leadership. And it is associated with success so much also that if you do a little bit more, you can get some. You do a little bit less, you may not get it. And you have to do it with a passion or with a helping heart, not for getting something. In other words, you have to give without any expectation, and that's the beauty of getting. And the good part about it is, if you give more or if you get something, you get the pleasure. But if you give something, that has a different pleasure, that has sometimes more pleasure than getting something. So that's what my leadership is, philosophy is. And I believe everybody is a leader. That's kind of a borrowed philosophy from Nike. Also, Nike says everybody, they believe everybody is an athlete. So I think that is true. It's within you. So when you know something within you, then you can do it outside. Otherwise, it's difficult. And yes, I was an engineer, an electrical engineer, telecommunication engineer. I still am, of course. I mean, engineering doesn't go away, and I do my work in engineering, but I felt that my passion is to help others grow, help myself grow, and help some businesses grow also. One of the things that I have seen, if I go back in 1993, 94, I was actually in the University of, or not in the University of Minnesota. I went to University of Minnesota, Twin Cities in Minneapolis a couple of years later. But before that, I was in a remote place called Mankato. And I was there for just a little bit, for about an year or something like that. But I saw that at that time there was no internet. I came from Bangladesh, and I was barely exposed with computers, and I did not know what computer means. When I came here, they started that Apple computer. I don't know if remember those diskette you insert and it comes out. It was that it makes that funny noise and all those things. So it was like that. But what I was trying to say, that at that time there was no internet, and they used to be on the school board and some places they used to have some applications for you to apply for credit card and that kind of thing. And then I called them and I found out that who did that, or why the bank is coming up. They're saying no, there are some agents they have, and then you can go and put them in, and whoever that agent is, they get benefited. They get, I don't know, $1, $2, $5, I cannot remember, if you apply and if you get approved. So I said, okay, can I be one of those agents? They said, yes, sure. So I took them and I put them places where I saw that people might need it, or people will apply and get a credit card approved. And well, funny that at that time I did not even know what credit card is, but I did that business anyway. Business meaning it is a business in my mind at that. So I'm saying that, and it's not that, and to get those application and get that approved and get that money, I think it was costing me more money than the money that I was making. But the reason I liked it is an achievement. And some people who receive that credit card and they're using it for their own purpose, they are also achieving, they're getting, fulfillment as well. So, excuse me, I liked that part, that, hey, I'm achieving something, I'm doing something, and it actually making some difference somewhere. So I'm just saying my entrepreneurship journey started a long time back, but then I had my own struggle. I had my own hurdle. I had to go through some of the challenges that I needed to go through, and that gave me experience. And then I lost a substantial amount of money, and many times, of course, time, and gave trouble to my family and my wife, and all these things happened. So that was a journey. And then some things I succeeded, some things I learned. That just like Dr. John C. Maxwell, I say sometimes you learn, and sometimes you fail, and sometimes you succeed, and sometimes you learn. It's not fail. Failing means you go one step ahead of. So that's what happened to me. So in especially last 15 years or so, I have tried so many different things. And one time, I actually thought that I would leave everything in the US and go back to Bangladesh, at least for a few years. And I thought, I can make a difference there, because I wanted to contribute, and I wanted to see the things that I learned from here I can apply, and I can help others in my own country where I was born. Even though I have very little connection with Bangladesh, unfortunately. But I wanted to do that, and I wanted to get that re-established. But for whatever reason, there are things that I don't know in life, and what I don't know. And I had that stumble. So right now, what I did, or one of the things that I did, is I wanted to make sure that those people who are actually struggling and having those struggle in their life, they really work hard. If you see Kamrul, in Bangladesh, the middle class, and I'm always mostly focused on the middle class, because they are the ones who want to do more, struggling more, working more, achieve more, and they're the ones eventually at some point do more as well. So anyway, so from my experience, I found out that, okay, if I can develop some things that will help them, that will essentially help all the families and everybody around them, and in turn the whole society will get benefited. It doesn't matter, it's not only in Bangladesh, this is universal everywhere, and that's what I do here. So that's why I picked that, okay, that with those entrepreneurs who have those ideas, and they will make things better.
I'm
One
coming
thing
to
to
this.
notice.
I'm coming to
Yeah,
this
go ahead.
point. I'm coming to this point. Like, you joined in John C. Maxwell team, I think, in early two,
About 4 to 5 years ago,
four
almost
to
five
five years.
years.
But you started this journey in the 2000, in the early 2000 as well, right? So for the self
Right.
discovery. So what really compelled you to, you know, to understand your own self and rediscovering your passion? You know, what really uh, made you to think about in this journey? Because I'm trying to understand, like, and also for others, you went to US to study engineering, correct? and you had a
Right.
dream at the time to become an engineer, and also doing that job in any uh, high paid organizations, or that we aspire in normally, that we want to work for multinational corporations and also become the CEOs and something else. So but my I'm trying to understand is, how did you come into this like into this idea of like self-development and working into this path? Because the more we need to understand ourselves into that journey, we also need to develop ourselves when we go for developing and helping others. So could you please also start from that beginning?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good point because many people are probably in my shoes, and hopefully it will help them, and some of the stories that I have might intrigue them. At the same time, it's good. It's not that easy as well. Excuse me. In the meantime, I just want to thank the people who are online. I see I don't know, Mujibur Rahman and somebody, they're saying that, thanks for sharing the experience that I have, and the things that I went through. Yes, yes, of course. And that's what I do in my trainings as well. Just one thing before I answer your question, that one of the things that you remember, people who are already very experienced
Mm.
and very established businessmen, of course, you
Mm.
understand, and good leaders, you know that. But the people who are struggling, always be authentic. Don't try to be somebody, and don't try
Mm.
to be like, okay, I want to be like Sheikh Rahman, I want to be like Kamrul Hassan, or I want to be like Dr. John C. Maxwell. That's not the case. That's not the message here by any means. That's very important to understand. You have to be authentic. You
Mm.
have to be yourself, but you have to find out what are the things that you have within you and you can express the best way. Nobody can be better than you yourself. You can, and you have to be, nobody can be youer than you, if you call it that way. And I know
Mm.
it's not a very good English, but you know what I
Mm.
mean.
Yep.
And because you have some kind of potential, some kind of things in you, and your gene, your environment, it grew you to be you.
Mm.
And if you know some of the strengths and some of the passions, some of the things, and all those are aligned, and you use them, you will have the best result that you can think of. But finding that, knowing that, that's a difficult thing, which for me was a difficult as well, because I did not know, and I did not have a very close mentorship, even though my father, my everybody tried to help me whatever
Mm.
I was. But it was probably they did not have that understanding. I don't want to blame anybody
Mm.
else, including my parents or anybody. That's not the reason. I'm just saying, you don't, what you don't know, you don't know, and you have to learn, you have to understand that. So anyway, now going back to your question, yes, I started all kinds of business, from
Mm.
year 2000 or before that. As I said, as a student, I started that. So I had that passion in me always. I'm like, okay, there's something I have to do. It's not only going to 9 to 5 job and becoming somebody in a corporate world. And I know I can be doing that. And in fact, I took step down a couple of times in my corporate ladder, because that was never my passion. That's
Mm.
never, I wanted to help, and that's a way of helping also. Don't get me wrong, people who are in job
Mm.
world, there's nothing wrong. You can be the best, excuse me, and you can be somebody who's really
Mm.
contributing to a lot to a society, and which is great. But that was not me. I really wanted to be interacting and be the first hand people
Mhm.
uh, to serve. So that's what started me in 2000, 2001, a little bit more rigorously. And nothing is impeccable. I had
Mm.
my difficulty also, I had my flaws also, I have my imperfection. So for those, it didn't get me where I wanted to go. So I struggled, and in one simple example, I can say that if you're a good baker and you start a bakery shop, it doesn't work like that,
Mm.
because you know the things technically, you're the best, but doesn't mean you know how to do all the other things in business. And that's why most people actually struggle. In the U.S. Census Board of Bureau, they found out that within 5 years, most businesses fail. 80% of the business fail.
Mm.
Next 5 years, the other 80% fail. So it's not a very encouraging situation if you really think about it. So why is that? Even though nobody is doing any mistake on their part of the knowledge, but the problem is the knowledge is limited. They don't know some of the things what they need to know on the other hand. So that's where I come in, or my team comes in, and we try to develop them and coach them to a point. And and many of the things are or similar things as Kamrul teaches also. It's with mindset. Many things you really have to know how is a mindset. You cannot go to a business thinking that okay, you'll make the same as your job income, and you're going to replace just like that. You're making $500,000, $200,000, $100,000, $50,000, whatever the case is. You cannot replace that income. Sometimes you can, but most times it cannot be like that. But it can grow exponentially or linearly according to your niche that you are in, or the business that you can grow, and your association and many other things. Of course, I cannot teach the whole thing that I know in little time, but I'm just saying there are always things to learn, and there are always you can do to get yourself better, which will get to a point where you can contribute more also and achieve more also. So that's how I got started. It was in me always. And in 2003 3ish, 2003 or 4, I went to a conference by Dr. John C. Maxwell, actually, and I liked his talk of be growth oriented, not only goal oriented. So I was sort of a goal oriented, but at the same time I had my struggle. I did not maintain it properly, which is of course a matter of discipline. And then the growth oriented is where it intrigued me. I said, okay, if that is the case, then you achieve a goal, then what's your next goal? The growth mindset that you have. When you have that, or if you have that, if you don't, I mean, that's fine. I mean, you have a goal and you want to be satisfied. If you're that kind of person, there's nothing wrong at all. But I wanted to be that growth oriented person. I said, okay, what's next? I can achieve this. I know I can do this, but of course I have my shortcomings. I can talk about that in a different time, different things. But yeah, so I don't know if that answers your questions, or question, or you had some other clarification you needed.
No, that is perfectly all right, because the journey you have begun in 2003 2004, so it's been more than a decade. This is 14 years, and it's quite long time. So what is your mission, and when do you see
Okay.
look I mean, the journey you have started in 2003 or 4 and in 2018. So when you look back this 14 years, and when you look back to the next, so what mission that you are trying to accomplish?
My accomplishment is my fulfillment is how I can achieve more by helping others. And Zig Ziglar said, as if you help enough people to achieve what they want, you can achieve what you need. So, in doing that, I found some. I even went into some multi-level marketing as well, because I found that way people it's actually aligned with my mission, that what I want to do. And of course I'm still searching in many of the things, spiritually and everything, that why I'm here for, what I need to do and all those things. But at the same time I want to set up legacy, that okay, this somebody will carry on, or some people will catch on to it. And of course you have to be the example for it, and that's why the struggle comes in, because you cannot be always perfect, but then you want to be perfect. I'm not a very perfectionist guy, but of course at the same time I want to make it better and better. My mission would be, if I wanted to just summarize it in a sentence instead, I'm not an author, and I don't have the luxury of the knowledge, or have all those things to express something in few words with a nice poetic way. So I don't know how to express that, but the best way I can describe is that helping others to grow so I can grow. And in order to do that, I concentrate on a few things. A couple of things are personal development. People, they have to have the personal development, crave for the personal development. and the people who are entrepreneurs, helping them grow. So not only them and the unit of society, which is the family, they grow and they themselves will get better. If you want to be better entrepreneurship, one point to note here is that there's a little bit difference between a businessman and the entrepreneurs. Businessman is somebody who wants to achieve, wants to make money, who wants to get things to the clients, their customer. Entrepreneurs is all of the above, plus in a creative way. You have to be creative in each step and make it fruitful and others to use. In other words, businessmen might be doing some kind of complete invention. Entrepreneurs may not invent something. It's already invented out there. For example, the biggest example, Apple computer. All the technologies in Apple computer, or the screen and the touch tone and all those things, they were there before Apple, Steve Jobs did any of those, but it became the trillion-dollar company today. That's because of the entrepreneurship that went into the company. So when you're an entrepreneur, you have to be a leader. So that's why I started concentrating on leadership development. So you have to be the best leader for yourself first. You have to lead, and you have to lead by example. And then you have to be the best leader for your family. And then you have to be the best leader for your community. And then you have to be the best leader for your business that you do or your career. You cannot be, which I always tell people, that you cannot be very good leader and in the company that you work for, and you don't do, or your leadership is not at all there when you're at home. That's never possible. You are a leader everywhere. So that's what I concentrate on. I ask people that, okay, that even when somebody says in any corporation or any presentation or anywhere I go, okay, can you help this guy to become a better leader for this company, for this organization, for this career, for this job he does? I said, yes, that is true, but how about he become a leader, a better human being, So when you're there, just like Dr. John C. Maxwell last time in International Maxwell certification, a couple of weeks back, I was with him. He said that he was invited to a company. That was so fascinating to me, the way he said it. He said that a business invited him to become a better business ethics. So can you teach business ethics to my group, to my company? He said, no, I cannot. I'm sorry. Then as they delved into it, they went inside it deep and deep. They found out that, okay, what he tried to mean is ethics is ethics. Then he said that, okay, I can teach you ethic, and you can apply that to your business if you call it a business ethics. So meaning just as a person, you have to work towards it. It's not something that, okay, I want to be a leader, I want to apply it here only. That's not how it is. It's a law. It's a thing that's in it, just like a gravitational energy, gravitational law. It's for everybody. You said, okay, I don't care about Newton's law or anything like that. That's not gonna work. It doesn't fly like that. You go to a second floor roof and you jump out. You said, okay, I don't care about the Newton's law. You're gonna fall. You're gonna break your arm anyway. You're gonna break your legs. It doesn't matter, my friend, right? So the laws are laws, and in leadership, laws are the similar. It doesn't matter if you're ignorant, you know it or don't know it. A baby who doesn't know a gravitational energy or gravitational force, he falls, he'll be dead, or he'll break his arms, legs, and his bones, right? He did not know about the gravitation force, the Newton's law, but it was applied to him anyway because it's a law. Just like that, in fact, there's a book called 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by Dr. John C. Maxwell, which is one of the things that I teach very passionately. These are the laws that you not know, ignore, doesn't matter. So it's better that you know them well. If you know them well, you can apply them well. You can achieve more through those laws, and it will just benefit others around you also.
Yeah, absolutely. So in this all last decade, you have been, what you have said, like the new businesses fail, and 80%, as per the statistics, that you quoted from the United States, and a lot of us, we also
Right.
want to be entrepreneur. So you have seen probably in that part of the world in US, right, the many small businesses, the fails in the very initial stages. And you also, as a coach, you have seen like people or organizations falling. So would you please share from those experience, what are the reasons behind actually the reason that we kind of tend ignore, and as a result it collapses the organization or the venture from the very initial stages? So what are the mistakes
Well,
probably? Yep.
well, that includes me also, Kamrul, as you can understand. I mean, I am always fearful of many things, what people will say, what if I
Mm.
fail and all these things. And I did that anyway. And then after I fail, I had a little bit success. That's how it
Mm.
grows, and that's how you get your confidence. So the best thing I can say is focusing on solution, what you are focusing on, rather than the trouble, the problem, and everything.
Mm.
People say, okay, if I didn't have this problem, if I did not have this issue, I could do this, and I have my own excuses too. And in that sense, one of the best thing to get to your mindset is that, okay, if somebody took all those problems that you're talking about
Mm.
and wanted to trade some of the problems the other person has, you think now you're in a worse situation, meaning
Mm.
you're gonna have some kind of problem anyway. You're gonna go through some of the difficulties anyway, and you're gonna go stumble and go through hurdles
Mm.
and all those things anyway to find that or experience and then go through. So best thing that I can say is, like, focus on solution and be helpable. Saint Bonnie St. John was the keynote speaker for the Maxwell certification event last time, 2 weeks ago. She doesn't have legs. She doesn't have both of her legs are not there. She has,
Mm.
basically
Amputated.
those are
Mm.
amputated, and
Mm.
those are she has that mechanical
Artificial.
legs,
Mm.
and she is an Olympic champion. She's she did not get the gold medal. She got the silver medal with somebody who has legs and who was champion, and
Mm.
she did not have that. And the reason, they did some analysis, they found out that while she was doing the skiing, and she's not a ski person, she
Mm.
learned it, she lost her legs at the age of 5.
Mm.
And then she got used to it and how she want to learn to walk with them. And then slowly she started skiing. And not only skied, she started in the Olympic.
Mhm.
So in the Olympic, she was second because she said, they did some analysis. They found out her speed and some of the things she did, she is still number one.
Mhm.
But there was one time when she fell, and everybody falls in that turn. And everybody gets up, and she got up also. She said that it took her couple seconds extra, or 1.2 seconds extra, something of that nature, extra more,
Mhm.
to get up, and that's why she became second. So the teaching behind it, the metaphor is that you will fail, you will
Mhm.
fall, you will have your stumble, but the faster you can get up, the better it
Mm.
is for you, the better you become successful. So that's what I found out, that I was not doing some of the action that I needed to do. I was not being helpable, meaning I was not asking others to help me in many things. So now I have a different strategy for that. And then, so focusing on solution.
Mm.
If you're not focusing on solution, on only on the problem, it is just an excuse, because it will drag you towards that problem more than into your success, the way you need to go.
Mm.
So that's probably one of the best thing I can tell about regarding that.
So focus on the solution and be helpable, right?
Focusing on this.
Mm-hmm.
Be helpable, yes.
Mm.
Do you seek the help you need? Because all of us, think about
Mm.
ourselves, all
Mm.
of us, and as far as my association, I know everybody likes to help. I mean, you'd like to help everybody who's watching us probably, or looking at the video later, or whatever it is the case. Give us Kamrul, or give Kamrul some comments on it. Everybody likes to, all of you like to help, right? If you do help, let us know. What I would like to know where and how you help somebody in a personal life, or in career life, or in a business. So everyone, the proof is you like to help. That means others like to help also. So if they like to help you, and you need help, why don't you ask for it, right? So once you have that, you have more collaboration going on, which is the going back to my candle leadership. So as much as you focus on that, working together in a team, that's how you become better and better. And it's always hard to work in a team because everybody has different personality. The goal and mission could be the same. Mine and Kamrul missions could be the same, or very similar. But we may not be exact same personality, which is not possible. It's not. But somehow or other, the team members, we all have to know how to work with each other, how to help each other. And sometimes there could be even collisions, clash, and this and that. It does not mean you are a bad person, I'm a bad person, so he's a bad person, she's a bad person. That just means they don't know how to work better. The good way of the analogy is, you take some rough rocks or pebbles, in a jar, in a metal container. So and you keep rotating that. Actually, that was a practice that I saw a long time ago when I was helping my father, who is a mechanical engineer. He used to have a cycle industry and all those things. So he used to do some nickel and chrome coating on some cycle parts. And in order to do that, he used to put pebbles and all kinds of rocks or metal things, which are rough edges, in that container, and rotate that for hours and hours and hours. So in turn, what was happening at the very end, you 2 days or few hours or whatever the case that was, you get it out, you find some smooth rocks which are very smooth, or a shiny product, and then they put chrome on it. So the metaphor I use on this one is that leaders are like that. When you have that clash, you are a better leader. You may have, better, I don't know if I call it a better, I guess worse clash. When you have that, and then slowly, they become smoother also, meaning how to work smoothly with each other instead of having those clash. So you're gonna have that. You're gonna have failure. You're gonna have all those things, and you're gonna go through this. But the best part is to have a coach like, or leadership trainer like Kamrul and many others, because that way you're gonna have that less of that, and it's gonna just propel your business or your journey by far than what you can imagine.
Yep, that means that you're saying the be coachable, right? That is one of the important ingredient for successful or to achieve a
You
bigger.
have to be.
Yeah. So, and what
You
I was
have to be,
here,
is as a leader.
and what
Yes,
I
go
was
ahead.
hearing earlier from you as well, that you were saying the goal versus the growth, and a lot of us, we actually, tend to go for means goal or end goal, and what you said, like the growth oriented mindset as well. And growth happens when, and
Well, growth happens when you're ready. Um, in an environment, I'll give you my story of my family story. My wife said many things to me that, this is not right and all these things, and um, I was not grasping those. I'm like, okay, I had my own ego. I am a male of the house and whatnot, right? But there are things that you learn from everybody, so you have to be receptible and understanding of others, and you have to be in other shoes as well, to see if there's something wrong and you're not liking it. Be in their shoes. The things that I say or I learned from somewhere is that if somebody is saying something and you don't understand, you don't like it, be in their shoes sometime, walk with their shoe probably a mile or so, and then after that you comment. At that time it doesn't really matter, because if you say something, if you comment something when you're a mile away, he cannot hear, right? So that's good. So the same thing, you have to know what others are saying and how they are trying to relay or convey their information. Maybe it's a communication. That's why we do communication workshop. Communication doesn't mean more words. It means to understand what they're trying to say. Only 7% of the communication is words. Even though they are saying 1,000 words, that may not make any sense to you, because there are other things in a communication that really gets the connection done properly, which is again the book of Dr. John C. Maxwell. There is another book, that everybody communicates but few connects. And the reason I say that is that you have to be ready, as they say, or there's a saying that when the student is ready, teacher appears. So only when you are receptive, only when you become that student, at that time you learn the most. At that time the teacher really works the best. At that time the teacher can be best also. When you have a speaker in the room, and I have that many times as well too, the speaker cannot be the best if the audience is not the best. In other words, as an audience, you have the responsibility to receive that information that he or she is trying to convey. And that's called the energy factor, in fact. So we're going in a different route. I don't want to be that person. But the energy that you have within you and in the audience or in the team or whatever, as a leader, you have to control that. Are you maintaining the energy? If you go to an office, some office you'll say, in Bangladesh also, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same. In the US, it's the same. Nobody says hi to each other. I have seen that kind of offices. I've been to office. I worked some places where I said hello and they did not say anything. So that's something, very difficult for me to fathom. I'm like, okay, why a person is like that? But I know personality, and they can have a bad day that day, or many other things. So that's why, as a leader, what you do is you become the energy there, you become the strength there, you become the connector there. And when you become that person, they will know you. Even though you are helping two people to get connected, or have that connection done, or get that energy done between them two, but they will know you as a catalyst. So you'll be always be that hero for them, for that event always. So you'll be in their mind. That's how you become a better leader, better connector, and of course, for yourselves it's better. So again, going back to the growth question, so you have to be you have to have that mindset. You have to be receptive, and you cannot be like not open-minded like I was at some point, I guess. And looking back, I know I have done many things bad, not right. Not that because I am a bad person and I was a bad person, just because I did not know, and I was not open to that idea that I have to be open, and I have to be saying what I don't know, and I mean it. And be receptive, be understanding that, okay, there are things that, there's nothing wrong to learn. There is no age limit for learning. So that's the growth mindset that I think that we all need to have. And I can talk only about myself. I'm not there yet to teach you or anything like that, except of course that's why we call ourselves facilitators instead of trainer or teachers, even though sometimes we are actually teaching or training.
True. Yep. Facilitation. So one last one last question to maybe to understand more better the growth of personal development and growth, also helping others to grow, whatever the areas that they want to grow. And the other aspect that you were saying, the mindset aspect of growth mindset versus the closed mindset. And in this part of the world, a lot of us, do you think that we have the closed mindset where we kind of lack growth mindset, and how do you kind of differentiate this?
You're putting me on the spot. I don't want to generalize or
Mm-hmm.
stereotype. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that part of the world or this part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
People are people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think one of the things, I gave you an example that in a speech that I did at some point in front of a group of people, I got a note from somebody saying, okay, can you be always prepared like this, and next time when we don't have a speaker or we need somebody, can you speak like this? I really loved it and stuff. In the same audience, somebody else sent me a note, handwritten note, that I did not know what you were talking about. I basically, he did not enjoy it, or she did not
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it, and it was not good at all. So it's the perception of one person. Maybe one person is prepared to get my message, another person is not. That could be one thing. And the other part that was saying that for me, I only concentrate on few things. One is personal development, leadership development, and entrepreneurs development, right? And mostly my weakness is that entrepreneur, because I have done wrong things on the entrepreneur's journey, and that's where I became better, and I know the things that I did wrong. So today what I do is specifically to that, and I help people, and I love doing that. Just one, it could be a little bit not that relevant, but kind of related. That I want to say that I say people that you have to think big, but you have to start small. So think big. For many people, I see, for the most part, people have difficulty in doing that. It's hard for me, for anybody to think big. How can you think big when you're struggling, when you're broke, when you're having difficulty in family, or in career, or whatever it is, or in your health, or anything like that. But for me, that was not a problem. Why? I don't know. I probably give this contribution to my father. He probably is the one who helped me, that thinking big. So that was never a problem for me. But the other part I said about it is, excuse me, start small. That was more of a problem for me. For me, I was thinking that no, I that is not where I want to start something perfect, something big, and all this. And I could not do that. Yeah, I was always doing some overwhelming stuff. So that's where my shortcoming was. But anyway, to add value to somebody, when you try this, there's an intentional living book by Dr. John C. Maxwell talks about, when you add value to somebody, whatever it is, be intentional from today onwards. Try that next 1 week, and comment it a week later if you want, or something like that. Have that agenda that, okay, today I'm going to help this person intentionally and see what I can do. And then few days later, and evaluate yourself. Have you done that? How did you like that? What was the outcome of that? You will see the flourishness when you'll see the positiveness in you. You use the positivity, the energy. You'll be able to feel that. You'll be able to understand that. So that's a big thing. And scaling a business, you have a business at some portfolio, X amount of dollar, or money, whatever, and then you want to bring it up, X plus Y amount of dollar, or something like that. How do you do that? And if you're making, I tell people that if you know how to make $2 in a sale, or in online or something, then you'd know how to do it in $20. You'd know how to do it for $2,000, and so forth. But there are some process that you have to maintain. That's one of the things, is personal development, your leadership journey, and of course your entrepreneurship. Everything rises and falls in with leadership, as we know, and that's what the truth is about. I don't know, for time wise, I'm getting a little bit concerned. So hopefully I wanted to make it within the time. But yeah, if you have any last question, or if you want to wrap it up, Kamrul, that I think that would be a good idea.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, it's been 1 hour, and the 1 hour have been went like a minute to me, and it's been a wonderful learning session as well, and a lot of people from across the world, those who are watching right now. I know right now joining Mr. Rafi Ahmed, one of my good friend from early 2000. Now he's in US, and Nita Dewan, also right now in the US. She is also from fellow Bangladeshi, and a lot of people from different part of the world, those who have been watching right now. And this show is basically, I'm trying to connect the different people across the planet. And my aim and mission is actually, how can I connect more than 100 countries in order to bring this experience, the learnings that I'm learning from you today, Mr. from Sheikh Rahman. And I wish that it could help others as well, because it's the experience that we are sharing with everyone. And another mission, like I'm trying to connect the people, those who are living in different part of the world, those who are from Bangladesh as well, how we can bring those experience, building Bangladesh, helping the, I mean, developing as a nation. As I was hearing from you as well, the John C. Maxwell team goes into different countries. One of my dream as well, how I can bring the entire team in sometime in my
Oh, that's
lifetime.
possible, yeah. Actually, Kamru, I don't want to interrupt you, but last one thing I wanted to say, the thing that you are in, and when I saw you as a born Bangladeshi or in Bangladesh doing this and helping others grow, and I saw your passion, and I want to see, I saw that you want to see others being successful and get the help and get the mindset and all this. That was so fascinating a feeling for me, and it really intrigued me. And right away I thought, I need to get connected with you, even that time didn't permit me to go to you fast enough. But I saw a couple of your interviews also, in fact, with some of my good friends in the US, Eric Reed and a few others. That was really nice, and I really champion you for the things that you are doing in Bangladesh. But I don't think you need to contain in Bangladesh. I'm sure it's basically a global need, and wherever you can collaborate, and whatever myself I can help any of the audience or who are in the US or anywhere else, please reach out to me, and anything that I can do or we can do together, to make things better. Because always remember what I tell, when I do some youth shops, workshops, and this and that here, I say that, and I say that to my community also. Because if you get your community better, essentially you're making your family better, because your family is within that community, so they're getting the better environment. Your prosperity, your life depends on the association and the books that you read, right? So you start reading, have that good association, make that association better with your help, and exactly that's what you are doing. So I really wanted to champion you on that, and thank you for doing this. I appreciate that. Anything that I can do in your journey, it's not a question at all. Wherever it is in the world is, there is no political political border in my
True.
mind. So I really thank you for that. But again, and thanks for bringing me in.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to have you, and it's really my honor to introduce you with the platform that I'm trying to create, connecting people back home and also globally. Yes, you're correct. This is the there is no definition, that we gave the different names in the country, Bangladesh, America, or India, Pakistan. That is the names given by us. But no, right now there is no reason to restrict ourselves into the particular boundary. Now, having said that, my mission is actually how I can help building this nation and across the planet as well, because my mission starts from the helping this nation and the people here, at the same time, creating impact and growth in others part of the world. So with this journey, and I'm very fortunate to have you and others, those are watching right now. I owe you big time. I cannot express my gratitude by, let me tell you, I do feel the blessings that all of you are bestowing. Time I cannot express this gratitude, but I'm sure that with this in return, I would try to do something together, all of us, to help the nation to prosper. And this is to my last breath that I do, and that's my mission. And that is the reason actually I left my job and I'm living my life. I feel it, and I want to help millions of people with the help of yours as well. So thank you, Mr. Sheikh Rahman. You are bright,
Thank you.
bright son of Bangladesh, and you are doing, and we are proud of you that you are in one of the John C. Maxwell's executive director in the global team that you are representing, that many of the people may not know, but we know what John C. Maxwell is doing all over the world. I'm the mere student of this journey. I'm lucky and fortunate to have you and to know you. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you everyone. If you want to say anything, and then we can close.
No, all I wanted to say is definitely it's my privilege, and people who are here, they took the time. It's for us. It's a Sunday morning here. For you, it's a Sunday night. So that means something. So champion yourself. Give a pat to your back also yourself, because you were here. Even if I touched somebody and said something that I feel fulfilled. If that is so, please comment that as well. That would give me some fulfillment. That's all it is. But definitely, don't think about yourself, any lower than what you need to. I mean, you have some things within you. That's why you're here, and you can touch many lives also, I'm sure. So thanks again, Kamrul.
Thank you so much. That if any one of you want to reach Mr. Sheikh Rahman, I have given his contact detail as well. So you may reach through his website, and you can also contact to him. And those who are watching right now, a great, heartfelt thanks. And through you, my message is how we can create a better place, this world, a bit for our next generation that we are leaving behind. And can we not do something for our generation that we are creating? We are the meaning that we are leaving our sons, our daughters, and our generation. And how can we help them? And by helping others, actually I think we can help our generation to be better and to live better purposeful life. And that is, all together we can create this world a bit better place. And only this is possible if we love own self, ourselves. So that is the mission, that is the journey that all of us are into. I invite you as well to help anyone possible to our surroundings. With this, we can conclude our show tonight, and thank you very much, everyone, those who are watching and would be watching into the different time zone. And I extend my hand of cooperation, similarly as I receiving your hand of cooperation, invisible hand in time, places, irrespective, and it remains in the World Wide Web, into the internet. Until then, take care, stay well, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Good night. Bye bye.